town.
Check out the lever action. Nice fulcrum.
We are on episode 12 of season 1 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. We only have one more episode to go after this before we hit season 2 and things really get ratcheted up to a much better level. The riffs come quicker, they're faster, they talk more, the sets look better. Joel really becomes comfortable with his role and says the second season is where he should start, but we're not doing that. We're starting with the first season. It's been okay so far, but no real amazing standout episodes that you have to watch. Not a Mitchell, not a Hobgoblins. A Manos? No, not a Manos. But this one's called Untamed Youth. It was released in January 26th of 1990. That's the Mystery Science Theater version. The actual movie, Untamed Youth, was released in 1957 and is a exploitation movie, kind of like a really tame one. It was around that time where they were trying to titillate the audience a little bit more, but the Hays Code was still enforced, so this is like a PG rated movie. There's a lot of girls running around in their lingerie and bras, so that's basically like porn in 1957. It seems like Russ Myers was the guy who really broke down the barriers of exploitation and sexploitation with his 1959 movie, The Immoral Mr. Tease, which actually you can watch on YouTube. It features a ton of nudity. I tried to watch part of it. It's super bizarre. I mean, it's basically not a movie. It's just a guy looking in a peephole at naked girls pretty much the entire time. And then I would say in 63 with Blood Feast, the first really hard R-rated horror movie. But this is 57, it's the Untamed Youth. Before we get to the movie, let's get to the invention exchange. Throughout this entire season, we still haven't really been able to develop these characters very much, but they'll do a better job in the coming seasons. And Josh Weinstein only has 2 more episodes as Dr. Forrester's sidekick. Maybe they have an invention you're going to use in your everyday grooming routine.
I love everybody here.
I win the award for the most unsanitary toy.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
It's about
Nice
time.
job.
Tongue puppets. I think I used to do that as a kid with like blow pops, but okay. Probably not going to use that one. So we don't have a short, they get right to the movie. And the Mystery Science Theater crew is really taking this one very lazy. The movie itself is actually quite decent, so it's an enjoyable episode to watch, but man, the riffs are really, really slow. In fact, I'd say out of all the movies they've covered, they riff the least amount on this movie, and there's so many things to make fun of. The plot is that sisters Penny and Jane Lowe are arrested. You know what they're arrested for? Hitchhiking, which apparently was illegal in the 50s. You wouldn't know that, but they actually give them a good talking, like, listen, you shouldn't be hitchhiking out here. There's some killers out here. There's some people that can pick you up and do bad things. You go, oh yeah, I'm glad they knew that, thank you. So I guess hitchhiking was always illegal. They just didn't really enforce it until like the 80s. And they're also skinny dipping. So they're skinny dipping and hitchhiking, they get arrested. And they're sentenced to work on a cotton farm in Texas. Okay. Probably 2 of the sexiest crimes you can commit. Send her to the labor camp. She was skinny dipping out in the middle of nowhere. We kind of looked at her for a little bit, and then she was hitchhiking. And the guy who runs his farm is named Russ Troop, which sounds like Trump. In fact, in several times in this episode, they literally call him Trump. I mean, they're trying to say Troop, but like, Trump, Troop! So, draw your own conclusions here. He's an egomaniac. He rolls it with an iron fist. And he has the ladies, and he pretends like he's going to give them a music career, and really he just tries to bang them. So, that doesn't remind me of anyone. He might own a beauty pageant or 2 as well. And this cotton farm that they're sent to is co-ed. They have these little dances, because of course, they have to throw in musical numbers. And they're as laughable as you think they are. But I know what Untamed Youth's going for. They still have to abide by the Hays Code. They can't really show nudity, so they show a bunch of upskirts. In fact, there's many shots in this movie where the camera is like at the girl's ankles, kind of looking up her dress. It actually has one good actress, well, at least an attractive actress, Mimi Van Doren, who's going for the Marilyn Monroe lookalike contest and winning. She was known as the 3 M's in the 1950s with Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, and Mimi Van Doren. Okay, she wasn't as popular as those other 2, but still, she was like the 3rd most popular. She was in Teacher's Pet, High School Confidential, Born Reckless, Sex Kittens Go to College. Why couldn't they review that one? Oh, that one actually features nudity. I guess I can't review that one. And she was in Playboy in 1964. So we have a decent movie where they're dealing with this guy Troop who's trying to sleep with the girls, and they're like, oh, he's a scoundrel. But the crew just doesn't have too many riffs. I'll put in a few of them, mostly from Crow. But man, there's minutes that go by in this episode where they don't say anything. These dance hall scenes where they're grooving reminded me of the scenes from like Teenage Strangler. Except for in Teenage Strangler, they actually had good riffs. I mean, look how funny these riffs are in Teenage Strangler compared to Untamed Youth. Probably my favorite one is when Mike and the Bots start yelling out punk bands.
Those of you who have undying love for the Beatles.
Dead Kennedys! Circle jerks!
Whole trio.
Butthole surfers!
The ice stripes. That's the latest fashion.
White flights! This is so... Patti Smith, the early years!
He got caught.
That does look like Patti Smith. I mean, this 5-minute section where she's in Teenage Strangler, which is in season 5, where she's on this counter and they're saying how she's like stepping on people's burgers and doing this stripes, it's the latest fashion. Terrible song. Is funnier than pretty much the entire episode of Untamed Youth. I just think there was wasted potential here. I'll play some clips from Untamed Youth where there is a musical section as well where a bunch of people are dancing, and while they make fun of one guy who's dancing in the corner a bit, man, there's just a lot of wasted space. You see how fast the jokes start getting in season 5. They're constantly hitting it. But that's why we're covering every season, to see the progression. Yipe stripes. And a Dead Kennedys and a Circle Jerks reference. I'm here for it.
The ice stripes. That's the latest fashion.
Planned it that way, that's right. I knew that.
Oh, Mel.
Caught me in. Thought I was a geek. Oh well.
Jerry Lewis, geeky guy, denture wearer.
This is definitely one of the better movies that's watchable. There's actual characters. Troop is actually a believable asshole. The judge who sent them there falls in love with Troop, which is why she's resistant to helping them. He feeds them dog food, which is hilarious. And the girls have pillow fights in their underwear. My favorite host segment, there's 5 of them. Well, 6 if you count the 30-second prologue. But there's one where Gypsy gets sick, and it's actually quite funny. They're using, obviously, snow from, like, the Christmas store, and Crow's putting it all over his head. Gypsy keeps throwing up random objects like a vacuum cleaner and some type of ball. And it ends with them reading, actually, 2 letters, one from a 37-year-old woman. So not just all kids this time. No ram chips, though. I always like when they do the ram chips. Tell me one good thing about the movie. Tell me one bad thing. One good thing, Mimi Van Doren. Bad thing, they're obviously trying to kick off someone's singing career because there's like 5 musical numbers in this movie. Like those Disney Channel movies like Even Stevens and stuff where they just do musical numbers because they're trying to give careers to the people that are actually starring in them. So that's Untamed Youth. I think a wasted opportunity. Next up is Black Scorpion. Another black and white movie from 1957. The very last episode of Season 1 before we kick it off into Season 2. With Rocket Ship, XM, we're flying through these episodes and they're only going to get better from here. Join us on this journey to review all 230 episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. We're doing it. Also check out our playlist for the other series that we've covered, like Black Mirror, Tales from the Dark Side, Pet Shop of Horrors, Cowboy Bebop, Monsters, Fear Itself. We cover every single episode in those series as well. Thanks a lot.
The ice stripes. That's